that was accorded to the Indian Prime Minister, and formal talks that are now expected to happen as this visit clearly is significant, as India is expected to ink about 7 pacts with Sri Lanka. This could include an agreement on defence cooperation, which could only further boost India's relations with the island nation when it comes to defence. And Times Now is reporting from Colombo, where my colleague Varshni has been getting us the details of today's programs. The itinerary that is now being planned for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Already, we saw the ceremonial welcome that was accorded to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this is the first time Sri Lanka has accorded such a welcome to a visiting dignitary. Let's get in a word from Varshni now. Varshni, what all has happened after the ceremonial guard of honor? The formal talks, have that begun?
Yes, after the ceremonial welcome that was received by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, along with the President of Sri Lanka, Anura Kumara Dissanayake, have now reached the Presidential Secretariat, and there is a high-level meeting that is happening now, a private door meeting where the Prime Minister and the President are discussing on major issues. And apart from that, post this, there is going to be a delegation-level talks that is also going to happen. The higher authorities, the officials from the Sri Lankan government will also be meeting the Prime Minister and discussing various things with him. And apart from that, that is when the most important part of today's visit is going to happen, where the MOUs are going to get signed. We are given to understand that 7 important MOUs are being signed in this particular visit. The defense agreement being the main about it, and then we have the other agreements like the bilateral trade that is already existing, and to improve the trade relationship between both the countries. And after that, we're going to see some other agreements based on energy, based on power, based on infrastructure, based on digitalization. And what we are given to understand from officials that we are talking to is that Sri Lanka is depending majorly on India to ensure that they will be able to get some of these, resources and inputs from India to take it back to Sri Lanka to develop here. As of now, the digitalization has not hit Sri Lanka as much as what we are using back in India. Therefore, they are hoping to benefit some, all these things from India, and to incorporate those methods in Sri Lanka for the people of Sri Lanka as well. And apart from that, the defense agreement, like we've been speaking, is one of the key agreements where we're going to see joint exercises that is going to happen, particularly joint drills, joint training programs. It is likely that the army people from the military people from Sri Lanka would be traveling to India to get first-hand experience and training from the military in India, and these kind of training programs are going to happen from now on. Okay. And apart from that, we're also seeing supplies of equipments that is also going to be discussed and signed, where India would be helping Sri Lanka out to, improve and up the game of their defense here, and also about the security and the maritime borders. These discussions will also happen, is what we are given to understand. And one more thing which is very important to note is that a group of representatives of the Tamil community, the Sri Lankan Tamil community, is also likely to meet the Prime Minister later in the day after these, MOUs get signed and after the official government discussions are over. The group of Tamils representatives are also likely to meet the Prime Minister. And as we all know about what all has happened in the past when it comes to Sri Lankan Tamils and what they were, subjected to, and what kind of differences that they have been facing here. With the help of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they definitely achieved to improve their standards of living. And particularly the northern belt of Sri Lanka has a lot of, Tamil communities living there. It is completely populated with Sri Lankan Tamils, and that is what they are trying to achieve, the help of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So these are the things lined up for today, and by the end of the day, he will be visiting the Indian Peacekeeping Force memorial that is here in Colombo, and paying his respects to the martyrs. So this is
the bit of
a very
that had happened 33 decades ago is something that now India is moving forward in bettering when it comes to relations with the island nation, and pictures that have also been shared by the MEA saying that the Prime Minister was welcomed by President Dissanayake with a ceremonial reception at the Independence Square in Colombo, and bilateral discussions will take place to foster a partnership for shared future and mutual prosperity for our people that lie ahead. Why it matters so much? Let's put that out exactly when it comes to this current visit of the Prime Minister is concerned, because he's the first foreign leader to be hosted by the Sri Lankan president. This is the first visit after Sri Lanka plunged into financial crisis. And as Varshni was pointing out, that 7 pacts likely are expected to be signed. The agreements that could forward when it comes to defense cooperation between the two countries, and could also signal an upward trajectory when it comes to India-Sri Lanka ties. Varshni, for the moment, thank you very much for joining in.